Hello and welcome to Joystick Streams. My name is Anthony John Agnello, Joystick Community Manager. If you've been hanging out with us in the pre-show, you already know that News Content Director from Joystick, Alexander Slewinski, is playing a little Dragon Age Inquisition on his PlayStation 4. Hello, Alexander.
Hey, Anthony.
And we are literally in the very first minutes of the game. And Alexander has made a brand new character for you here. It is a female Kunari with a spectacular David Bowie 1976 approved makeup job. And we are going to be showing you the beginning of the game with as few spoilers as possible. Alexander finished playing through the game last week. This is a retail review copy provided to us by Electronic Arts. And Alexander, you love this game.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. And again, we are going to do our best. I will not be talking about anything that comes later on in the game. So if you are worried about spoilers, don't worry about that. I'm not going to give any of that stuff away, but I will give some context to characters and folks and areas that we'll meet along the way. So here we are. This is my Kunari female. Judgments on her makeup, you can keep those. She looks fantastic. And she is a sword and board character, so a sword and shield character, and she's currently being interrogated by Cassandra, who's the Seeker from Dragon Age 2. So I have a couple different options here. I can use strength, I can be noble, I can give a sob story, or say I'm confused. Essentially what has just happened is that there's been a massive explosion, and I am the only survivor of that explosion.
Alexander, I do have a question about your Kunari. When did she get the idea to write Anaconda? And, I mean, has she always been inspired by Sir Mix-a-Lot's music? I mean, it's a hell of a single.
Well, basically, she takes the opportunity whenever anybody has a hit song to drop some sick beats in the third verse, typically
I see.
a rap.
All right. Yeah.
But yeah.
And she's tight with Drake, this Kunari.
Yeah.
No.
It will be easier to show you.
Yeah, we. Everybody, again, no spoilers. Rap 40, no spoilers. We are just playing the very, very beginning of the game.
So that
Alexander, are these Templars? Is that who is taking you in here?
No.
These are not Templars.
No.
Call it the breach. It's a massive rift into the world of demons that grows larger with each passing hour. It's not the only such rift, just the largest.
Man, it is good looking.
All were caused by the explosion at the Conclave.
An explosion can do that?
This one did.
Alexander, can you
Unless
give
we act,
everybody like a slight refresher on where this is taking place timeline-wise?
Give me one more second.
Yeah.
each time the breach expands, your mark spreads, and it is killing you. It may be the key to stopping this, but there isn't much time.
So I don't really have a choice about this.
None of us has a choice. They have decided your guilt. They need it. The people of Haven mourn our most holy, divine Justinia, head of the Chantry. The Conclave was hers. It was a chance for peace between mages and Templars. She brought their leaders together. Now they are dead. We lash out like the sky, but we must think beyond ourselves, as she did. Until the breach is sealed. There will be a trial. I can promise no more. Come. It is not far.
Where are you taking me?
Your mark must be tested on something smaller.
Okay, so I'm going to turn on the subtitles for you all right now. Sorry about that.
There are many questions, Alexander, in the chat. For those of you asking what class Alexander is playing as, his Kunari is sword and board. He is going to be crushing with a sword. There are folks wanting to know, where is Morgan? Where is Alistair?
Those are spoilers, and I'm not talking about that stuff.
No spoilers. No spoilers today.
And again, if you've played Dragon Age 1 or Dragon Age 2, you should go ahead and go to DragonAgeKeep.com and fill out all of that stuff, because that will determine what the world is going to look like in terms of, where's Morgan? Where's Alistair? Where's all of that going on? So, again, for those of us just joining us, there was a huge explosion. There's now this hole up in the sky, and in the explosion, the divine Justinia has died. She's essentially the religious leader of the Chantry, which is she's essentially the Pope.
Wait, the Pope?
Yeah.
This is like they're a religious organization?
Yes. The Chantry.
LM Mortal Soldier. Console Wars, is that when people throw consoles at each other? No, that is called Console Ball. And Console Ball is really, really exciting when you're using nothing but old Neo Geos.
Out of a rift, then fell unconscious. They say a woman was in the rift behind you.
And now Cassandra is talking about when your character comes out of the rift, there's apparently a woman who's inside the rift as well. So they think or speculate that it could be Andraste, who is a prophet of this world.
Alexander, a Brain PS4 would like to know, how long is the story? It's hard. It's hard to say. Dragon Age Origins takes a long time. And it is... I know it's only 5 years old, but it is antiquated.
Yeah.
And as for 2 is very divisive. Alexander, you are not a huge fan of 2, but other members of the Joystick staff, like Susan, are. Susan loves 2. Alexander, these monsters that you're fighting, these are not... The bad guys in the first game were called Darkspawn.
These are not the Darkspawn. So the Darkspawn from Origins is a concept called the Blight, which is what the Grey Wardens are supposed to handle. And that is what Origins is about. So these are not Darkspawn. This is not the Blight. This is something entirely different.
I should remember you did not attempt to run.
Ha! Bolt Media, Far Cry, Dragon Age Inquisition, or Little Big Planet 3, guys. Man, you literally could not have 3 more different games. Let me say that if I could have a way that would bring all of those 3 games under the same umbrella, it would be to have Stephen Fry narrate all of them. And now, we see that you are fighting a lovely tiger and casting a horrific spell against those mean elves.
flank them, we may gain the advantage.
So another thing you're going to notice in Inquisition is if you look in the top left-hand corner, you can see Cassandra has those gray bars over her health bar. That's called Guard. So instead of using healing spells in Inquisition, there are no healing spells. There is a revive spell, but there's no healing spells. You use potions, which you access again if you're using a console using the R1 button. And you've got these healing potions at the top, but healing potions, and you can also get that from 8 to 12, is how you keep it. So you're not playing Healbot and micromanaging that the entire time. So you've got Guard if you're a warrior, and that will protect your health bar, and then mages can also put barriers on top of that. So you'll have guards over barriers, and that's how you last longer in a fight.
Alexander, is this woman who is part of the religious order rolling with you? Is she a part of your party for good, or just through the intro period?
This is Cassandra. She is part of your party. She's from Dragon Age 2. She's the person who was interrogating Varric, who was telling the story of Dragon Age 2 and of Kirkwall. So she is with you, and she's a seeker. And she is the left or the right hand of the divine Justinia, who's the one who died in that...
Of the Popa.
Of the Popa. And again, you don't have to play Origins or 2 to get a lot of this background. You can go to DragonAgeKeep.com and watch that, and it will fill in a bunch of this stuff.
Ferret Seafall, no healing. I did a whole playthrough of Origins as a support healer. That is one of the weirder parts of Inquisition, was what you were saying, Alexander, about the fact that there's no healing spells, only potion management.
Yep.
But the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, that sounds great. That sounds really appealing to me.
No, it's great. So one of the things that Susan mentioned today while we were recording the podcast, which will be available tomorrow, is she did not appreciate having to switch between all of the characters in previous games. And you had to, I mean, in some ways you had to do that because of the micromanagement on the heals and a couple other reasons. But you can pretty much stay on your character for the most part in this game with very few moments where you actually have to micromanage.
Lord Infamous here in the chat would actually like to know if there is multiplayer. There is multiplayer, and it's pretty different.
Yep,
it's not. Yeah.
I would say come back next week on. Could we do Tuesday or Wednesday? When?
We could definitely do Wednesday for multiplayer. And you know what, Alexander? I will join you, because you and I haven't done any co-op role-playing since Divinity.
Oh my. Yeah.
Which we did pretty well with.
Yeah, but the multiplayer is interesting, and it's definitely something we should show off. So we'll get that together for next Wednesday. Because the problem right now is not everyone has a copy of the PlayStation 4 version, so that's why we're
getting close to the rift. You can hear the fighting.
Alexander, can you show off some of the tactical combat, or is that not really worth it with just these?
We'll get to that.
Just these two characters. You'll
get
there. You've got a whole plan, don't you?
Yes, I do. And I just want to. So this is the inventory management. I currently have a longsword and wooden shield. I'm sure I picked up something. Yeah, so here we go. I picked up a Vitar, but I'm going to have her equip it. Essentially, the Kunari put on war paint instead of helmets and such. So she's got... You'll have a bunch of different war paints to wear during the game. So when I do that war cry, you can see in the top left-hand corner, I get those gray bars, and that, again, that's the guard, which protects me from taking health damage.
Everybody is saying that your makeup is your war paint. That's the best war paint of all time.
What did you do?
I did nothing.
KB Junior 20, what's wrong with Assassin's Creed Unity? Listen to our podcast when it goes live tomorrow at 1 p.m. We talk a whole lot about Assassin's Creed Unity. And if you would like a look at Joystick's review for Assassin's Creed Unity, I will pop that in to the chat momentarily. Our own Sam Prell gave it 2.5 stars.
So right now, I have met Solus, and he has shown. He basically just grabbed my hand and was like, "Here, let me show you how to close these rifts."
You mean this?
Whatever magic opened the breach in the sky also placed that mark upon your hand. I theorized the mark might be able to close the rifts that have opened in the breach's wake. And it
Close them rifts, son!
Meaning it could also close the breach itself.
Possibly. It seems you hold the key to our salvation.
That is a very odd statement from...
And this is Varric, the character that Cassandra there was interrogating during Dragon Age 2. So I'm going to skip over all the investigative portions that you can do. So if you want more background, you can usually look just for the question mark symbol, and that's usually that's pretty much always the background information. So you can essentially ask Varric if he's part of the Chantry. And again, the Chantry is the religious organization, and no, Varric is not.
Alexander, Twilight Error asks a very important question. Why is Joan Jett in this game?
I'm sure we'll become great friends in the Valley,
Absolutely not.
Daft Punk 96.
Have you been in the Valley lately?
Yeah, again, is Assassin's Creed Unity good apart from the massive bugs and glitches? Listen to our podcast tomorrow. My personal opinion is no.
My name is Solus.
KB's Odyssey, what are your initial feelings about this game? Alexander has finished Dragon Age Inquisition and is going through a second time right now with a different character than the one we're playing as right now. He has just made this character for this stream. And Alexander, what were your first impressions? You were texting me right when you started Dragon Age Inquisition, and you seemed pretty excited.
Yeah, no, it's a good game. Read our review. Drop that in the chat.
It's been dropped in. It's been dropped in.
Okay.
Follow that link, everyone.
Yeah, I mean it's good, and you should read that review because it covers it. And again, the review avoids spoilers, as we are once again doing in this stream as well. We are avoiding spoilers. So now I have met Varric and Solus, and they've joined my party. So we've got Cassandra, who is the other. You are grugeling really loud, Anthony.
Yeah, I apologize. I am trying to hook up a new electric cord, and it's causing some problems. Apologies.
So Cassandra is a sword and board character. Varric is a rogue. He will be able to open up doors for you. He uses his bow. Her name is Bianca. Yes, it will explain that in this game. And the other character is Solus, who is totally new. And he is a mage. And that's as comfortable as I feel in getting detailed on Solus.
Are there going to be unlockable classes? Is that what you were just saying, Alexander?
Yes. So for folks who played Dragon Age Origins, there are you've got your core classes, and then you've got your specializations after that. And that comes a little bit later on, but yes, the specializations return. And this is where the tactical camera gets introduced. So on the PS4, you just hit the touchpad, and now you are in the tactical camera. The tactical camera will only go forward in time when you hit the R2 button. So you can zoom in and tilt and look, and it gets really pretty when a lot of spells are going off. So I'm going to tell my character to attack this lesser shade, have Cassandra go after this one, then have Solus go after my lesser shade. And again, I'm just showing this off. This is not, you can completely play it in real time and let it go. You can also hit the options button and select from here, everyone attack my target, disengage, that's not available yet, clear commands, or hold position. Hold position is helpful when you're going against rather large creatures who will try to get you in close and hit you hard. So, I'm hitting the R2 button right now, and I can move my camera around freely. And if at any point I feel something is going wrong, I just let go of R2, action stops, and I can switch between characters again. And so like right now, my character is going to take a potion and hit R2 again. And at any point, I can just hit the touchpad again and switch back to just normal third-person view. So, and you target by tapping down the right trigger. So I'm going to have everyone attack this target. So everyone switches to that target.
So, Funker in the chat is asking us questions or making statements in Cyrillic, and I gotta say, Google Translate is really not helping out. What's deer in stream climbs? I'm assuming that's not what was just said. There's Salayan. Should I bother with recreating past story on the app? Alexander says yes.
Yeah.
And that is
yep.
Dragon Age...
DragonAgeKeep.com. DragonAgeKeep.com. And yes, you should absolutely do that because it is incredibly awkward when you're playing, and if you were part of choosing who was ruling the dwarves in Orzammar, and it pops up later on that King Balin or King Hermon, and that's not the person you chose, it's going to stop you in your tracks and you'd be like, oh no, I wish I'd gone back and done Dragon Age Keep. So yes, you should totally do Dragon Age Keep. Also, while you're out in the world, again, this game is big and this is just the intro. I should be going up the hill over here towards this giant rift in the sky. But you got to take your time to explore as well. So always look around for places to explore. Another really nice feature of Dragon Age Inquisition is you can click the left analog stick, and it basically pings everything around you and shows if there are items to pick up, and it highlights them. So you can usually do a sweep of a room, and just keep pinging it and grabbing the stuff that you need.
PC has always been better with the Dragon Age series, says Berserk Aaron. Not trying to be PC Master Race, but this is actually true. And that was certainly true with Origins. Dragon Age Origins was certainly a much better looking game on PCs than it was on Xbox 360 or PlayStation 3. But, Alexander, you seem very, very pleased with the performance of Inquisition on PlayStation 4, save for the problems caused by PlayStation 4's 2.0 firmware.
Yeah, and I'm not even gonna get into a
Yeah,
conversation
like we
about
don't
this.
need to. We
Like,
don't need to go down that hole.
I mean, I'm not going down this road. The game is gorgeous. It's gorgeous on PS4. It's gorgeous on Xbox One. I'm just not going to entertain the conversation.
Yeah, done.
Now, I am playing on hard, so I keep forgetting that I could actually easily die right now, because my guard keeps getting broken down. Cassandra! Cassandra! Get their attention! So again, it's MMOE rules or standard sort of rules where the sword board is supposed to be grabbing their attention so that your mages and archers can get some
I hope Liliana made it through.
can get in some solid hits.
We'll see for ourselves at the forward camp. We're almost there.
So I'm also picking up crafting materials, and that becomes if you're playing on normal, a lot of this you can get by with a lot of the stuff, but when you're playing on hard, as I run into the fire, it is going to be incredibly important to pay attention to getting the best items or crafting the best items. And the crafting system is actually really nice. So I would strongly encourage learning the crafting system, which is not that difficult to learn. It's I wouldn't say it's intuitive, but it is not complicated.
Alexander, Tim C was just asking a question, and some people were explaining it a little. But how does dying work? Like, do you go back to an autosave? Like, if you die in a fight, do you have to have a hard save that you go back to?
So if you remember Origins, I don't even think it had autosave in it, which was a huge problem. I played Origins on hard, and I was saving like every encounter. Inquisition autosaves constantly. I mean, all the time. So it's got your back. If you die, you hit continued, and it will pop up the last save, and it's usually not that far behind.
Parsifal 1992, Dragon Age Inquisition is out on Tuesday the 18th. So next Tuesday. Man, you were always getting hit with green fire.
But I will answer. I will answer the 2.02 questions. So in our review, which Anthony will probably post another 3 or 4 times during the stream, at the end of our review, we noted that there were hard locks and freezes in the PS4 version. Anthony, I'm getting feedback from you. Can you turn your audio down? And we had hard locks and freezes in that was all due to the PlayStation 4's 2.0 update. This was an issue that affected many games from many publishers, and it was not specific. Since then, Sony has updated with the 2.02 update. That seems to be doing fine. There is going to be a day one patch for Dragon Age Inquisition, and that, again, showing that this was a console-related issue, not BioWare's hiccups. I've only experienced one crash since the update, and that was popping me back to the dashboard. It wasn't a hard lock which was occurring previously. So, as of right now, I would say those issues have cleared up, but we will be checking again on launch day to make sure.
Alexander, this is actually a great question from Zosan32. Is what if you are an RPG newbie and you've never really played RPGs? do you hop in with Inquisition? RPGs, it's just such a daunting genre. It's really hard to sort of dive in when you have no experience, and BioWare makes very dense games.
Yeah, I mean it is an action game. It is if you enjoyed Mass, it's like having the conversation of is Mass Effect an RPG or is Mass Effect a shooter? Uh, is Dragon Age Inquisition an action game or is it an RPG? I mean, it's straddling sort of two areas. So, I mean, I strongly recommend this game. In general, it's a great game overall. So if you've never played an RPG, yeah, this is certainly a good place to start. If you don't like it, then you're probably just starting into RPGs, and that's perfectly fine. Right now, the skill that I chose is the shield wall, as I've been talking about. Guard is one of the things that protects your health in the game, and shield wall allows me to pretty much just hold down the button, and I can build up guard the entire time. So in terms, you can also remap where these things go. So right now, I just remapped the shield wall to R1 because it's just more comfortable to do that.
Kilo 720, what does the touchpad do? The touchpad will allow you to bring up the tactical combat mode. So if you're in the middle of a fight and you're like, oh man, I wanna pull back and have a little bit more strategy for what's going on, you can slap the touchpad and then do that.
Yeah, if you are playing on hard, always keep your eye out for these supply caches, because they will refill your potions, and you definitely want to grab them.
Ah, here they come.
You made it. Chancellor Roderick, this is...
I know who she is. As Grand Chancellor of the Chantry, I hereby order you to take this criminal to Val Royeaux to face execution.
Order me?
Attack. Does it show how much stamina you have used when using special attacks?
Yes, and it will also show you the stamina required if you have too little. It'll do a little flash every single time you hit the button to show how much stamina you need to use a special.
And Caveman 9 would like to know what it's like when you're on hard.
It's harder. I mean, it is going to require you be far more conscious of your crafting materials, your items, your potions. It's just a lot more thinking it through. You can play normal, and yeah, you're sort of going through the experience, but on hard you have to focus while you're in combat.
We must get to the temple. It's the quickest route.
And for those of you who missed it before, we're going to pop the link to our review back into the chat.
We lost contact with an entire squad on that path. It's too risky.
Listen to me. Abandon this now, before more lives are lost.
Liston 83, when you selected Miley Cyrus as your character, was she a pre-order bonus or is she on disc? Excuse me, Liston 83. This is clearly David Bowie.
How do you think we should proceed?
So this is the first of many, 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 many choices that you will be making in this game. You can take the mountain path, which is fast but indirect. Soldiers will act as distractions elsewhere. The problem will be addressed sooner, but there may be casualties, or charge with the soldiers. Careful sustained assault. Soldiers will stand with you to ensure arrival. Scouts in the past may be lost. So I'm going to say, for the sake of keeping this fast, we're going to charge with the soldiers.
I say we charge. I won't survive long enough for your trial. Whatever happens, happens now.
Alexander, you talked a little bit about the crafting before, and there's Salayan has asked, can you actually create weapons, or just enhance them?
Nope, you can create them. You will find blueprints all over the world, and you can also purchase them.
Oh, Caveman 9. How big is the install? How big is the install? Do you know, Alexander?
I want to say
Yeah.
I want to say 40 something gigs.
Zombie Batman. Anyone know if the RSS feed for the Joystick Podcast is working again? Zombie Batman, the RSS feed for the Joystick Podcast is not working. Anybody out there that wants to know about our podcast, we migrated to a new hosting service last week, and we are waiting for our corporate overlords to implement the new RSS code to make sure that everything is populating in the feed and to iTunes. The latest update that we got is it's in progress. That's it. So that's what we know. Howard Stern is God would like to know, are there mounts?
Yes.
How many ribs are there?
A very politic, non-spoilery response there, Alexander. Nicely done.
Thank you.
Quicker bees? Is there a large diversity and variety of weapons?
That question needs more detail. I mean,
yeah.
Are there swords and axes and all that stuff? Yes. I mean, can you add runes and upgrade your weapons? Also, yes.
Sealed, as before. You are becoming quite proficient at this.
Let's hope it works on the big one.
Lady Cassandra, you managed to close the rift. Well done.
I'm sure you can answer this without any dramatic spoilers, Alexander. Are there any cities in this game?
Yes.
Yes. And this one is Anthus, Forensy? That is not pronounceable. There is a number in it. Joystick, just a few questions. Do the spells interact with the environment, and is there a time cycle?
Then we'd best move quickly.
Do the spells interact with the environments? I mean, like,
yeah, like, do you
are
see,
there...
like, if you cast a fire spell, do, like, trees set on fire?
Oh boy, I've never really paid attention. Like, I know if like, a frost spell, like, hits like, I've seen residuals. But I'm not... I mean, and you can use combos. There's definitely combos that you do.
That is where you walked out of faith, and our soldiers found you.
Oh man, you are in a rough place, man.
Yep, so this is, again, from the first instant of the game, that building that explodes, this is the explosion. And the building was the Temple of Sacred Ashes, which for players of Dragon Age Origins will remember that scene quite well. Can you customize clothing and cosmetics? Yep.
Oh wow, up to 40 endings? That's pretty cool. I like that. Bulbachu, I'm debating whether or not to get this on PlayStation 4 or Xbox One. We tested the PlayStation 4 version. That is the only version we have played so far.
Nope, not
So we
true.
cannot
Played the
comment on...
Nope, not
Oh,
true.
you
Played
did?
played the Xbox One version as well.
Oh,
Yep, same.
same.
Yep.
Yep. So either or, you're getting a good game.
You're here. Thank the Maker.
Liliana, have your men take up positions around the temple. This is your chance to end this.
Farley 2K, how adult does the material get? It certainly is a smart game that handles subjects like politics and race with a lot of depth and care, based on what Alexander has said.
Yep.
I'm not sure how to even start getting up to that thing.
No. This rift was the first, and it is the key. Seal it?
Sigmorn, no passive health regen out of combat. You have to heal yourself when you get out of the fight.
You got to
right?
use those potions. So again,
use them potions.
Yeah, the potions are sort of a
Power of our victory.
yeah, 1 second.
Bring forth the sacrifice.
What are we hearing?
At a guess, the person who created the breach.
So a lot of the focus is around these healing potions right here. You can also get regeneration potions, and that will help you out when you're not in combat, or even when you're in combat a lot of times, especially if you upgrade the potions, which you can do. And here's the first moment where Varric sees red lyrium. If you play Dragon Age 2, you know that, well, depending on what you chose and how things went, Varric has a history, or his brother more so has a history with red lyrium. So red lyrium is back, and it is bad stuff.
That is divine justice.
It's a very odd question from A2 Rules, and I'm not quite sure how to answer it. Does the game appeal to JRPG fans? It's really a different thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a different genre.
I mean, like, yeah, it's a different genre. I mean, like, I'm just trying to think of, the things that somebody will enjoy in JRPGs, like really interesting characters. Something that distinguishes JRPGs from something like a Western RPG in the Skyrim or Fallout mode is that Skyrim and Fallout, like, you sort of, there's not a lot of personal experience. It's not reflective of the player and the character they're controlling. You meet interesting people, but it's more about the world than it is characterization, whereas JRPGs are very, very invested in these very well-defined characters.
What's going on here?
And that, at least, is something that BioWare does very well. BioWare is very, very character-focused.
Anthony, shush for 5 seconds.
Oh, sure.
Shh.
Slay the Canary.
You were there. Who attacked? And the divine, is she? Was this vision true? What are we seeing?
I don't remember.
Echoes of what happened here. The fade bleeds into this place. This rift is not sealed, but it is closed, albeit temporarily. I believe that with the mark, the rift can be opened, and then sealed properly and safely. However, opening the rift will likely attract attention from the other side.
That means demons. Stand ready.
Okay, so this is the first big fight of the game. Yeah, like I said, when you can pause and use the tactical camera, like in big battles, you get pretty colors like this. And I can, just sort of cycle it forward using the R2 button to move time. So uh, this is a Pride Demon. And using the tactical camera, you can see the level of the Pride Demon here, what its armor is, and its different immunities and resistances, and what you've cast on it so far. So it is incredibly helpful without having to cast a spell to find out, like, oh, what's this guy immune to, and what can I do? It's just right there in the tactical camera. And again, you can switch between all of them. So Varric is gonna shoot some stuff. And again, you can turn it off at any time and just stay in the third person camera.
We must strip its defenses. Wear it down.
So you can see the Pride Demon's health bar is all gray right now. That means it's got full guard, and you have to break through the guard first to get to its health.
Quickly, disrupt the rift.
You can also hurt demons that are near rifts by disrupting the rift. Of course, you need to make sure that there aren't any archers or other stuff that are hitting you so that you can get through. So now the demon's guard is down, you can attack it directly. So now I want to disrupt the rift again, and that'll hurt the demon, and this is consistent through the entire game. You want to take those opportunities to disrupt the rift so that you can hurt the minions that are around it.
Alexander, so when you get like random people who aren't constant party members joining up in a fight with you, can you give them commands?
No. You always
No,
command your party members.
Just your party members.
Yep.
Got it.
And again, like, you can just look at the game and it's so many colors. Like, it's just such a far cry from where we were even just last gen. Like, you've got that green swirl of the rift and the ice all over the Pride Demon, and then the sort of purples of the magic attacks, and you can zoom, like, just not zoom right in, but just like looking really close. And I just want to play forward because just look at how cool the mages move, like just pew, pew. And again, because I'm playing on hard, a little bit more micromanaging needs to happen. So Cassandra just popped a potion on her own. So potion management becomes incredibly important in this game. And you can change that, and you can switch that. You just go to character records, and you can switch between the characters here. You can go to behaviors. There it is. And under behaviors, you can switch the healing potion reserve and at what point they should pop the healing potion. So right now, they will not use more than 6 healing potions because I've got 8 altogether, so they'll never go under 2 unless I tell them to drink it themselves. So you can override that, and then healing potions, they will pop it at 30%. But you can always turn that down to 20% or 10%.
Alexander, this is another interesting question in here. Are there, Son Sawara asks, do companions join your party naturally, or can you miss any of them? I know that's a thing that has happened in some BioWare games where there are people in your party that, unless you play the right way, you might just miss them.
I would say you will you will come across your party members pretty naturally.
Got it.
Oh, okay, so yes, definitely playing on hard because the Pride Demon just smashed the ground and killed Varric.
Huh.
Oh, see, and I just got interrupted by that creature. Hold on. So, again, I'm down to 2 health potions right now. I'm going to try to tell Solus to pick Varric up. Hopefully he will do that. So I tell him to revive. I'm going to have Cassandra pop a potion. And I'm going to try to fight off these pair of guys here.
Alexander, when you don't use party members, do they scale to your level?
Yes.
That's something that, yeah, that's BioWare typically does that.
Oh god, I gotta finish this fight. I'm gonna die. I'm super gonna die. Hold on. So yeah, hard is hard. And I'm going to go pick up Varric right now because Solus is not listening to me. There we go.
Now! Do it!
Kill this guy, Alexander. Put him down. Five games on November 18th. November 18th is the new October 7th. It is!
I look fantastic.
Young American, she was a young American. All
Don't worry
right.
about it.
I beg your forgiveness and your blessing. I am but a humble servant. You are back in Haven, my lady. They say you saved us. The breach stopped growing, just like the mark on your hand. It's all anyone has talked about for the last 3 days.
So a trial happens now, I suppose.
I don't know anything about that. I'm certain Lady Cassandra would want to know you've wakened.
Actually, single and loving it. It's not Maybelline.
And where
It's
is
Easy Breezy
In the
Beautiful.
Chantry with
Cover
the Lord
girl.
Chancellor at once,
Absolutely.
she said.
That's her. That's the Herald of Andros.
That's her. She stopped the breach from getting any bigger.
Where are you, Alexander?
I'm currently in the town of Haven.
Nothing to do with us. That isn't Chancellor Roderick's decision, sister.
And now I'm entering the Chantry to go find Cassandra. Moving this along because we're nearing the end here, and I just want to hit a couple more beats.
Train her! I want her prepared for travel to the capital for trial.
Disregard that and leave us.
You walk a dangerous line, Seeker.
The breach is still
Was your
but it is still a
inspiration
threat.
Mimi from the Drew
I will
Carey
not
show?
ignore it.
God, I haven't thought about that in a long time.
Let me guess. You need my help.
And once more, for
You
good
have done
measure, everybody,
plenty.
I'm going to pop in
Your actions will be taken
a
into
link
account by the new
to
divine.
Alexander's
Have
review
a care, Chancellor.
of Dragon Age
The
Inquisition
breach
at
is not
Joystick
the only
into the
threat
chat.
we face.
Someone was behind the explosion at the Conclave. Someone most holy did not expect. Perhaps they died with the others, or have allies who yet live.
I am a suspect?
You, and many others.
But not the prisoner.
I heard the voices in the temple. The divine called to her for help.
So her survival, that thing on her hand, all a coincidence.
Providence. The Maker sent her to us in our darkest hour.
You really think your maker would send someone like me?
The Maker does as he wills. It is not for me to say.
Even if that means a Kunari is his chosen?
Humans are not the only people with an interest in the fate of the world.
The breach remains, and your mark is still our only hope of closing it.
This is not for you to decide.
You know what this is, Chancellor. A writ from the Divine, granting us the authority to act. As of this moment, I declare the Inquisition reborn. We will close the breach, we will find those responsible, and we will restore order with or without your approval.
This is the Divine's directive. Rebuild the Inquisition of old. Find those who will stand against the chaos. We aren't ready. We have no leader, no numbers. And now, no Chantry support.
But we have no choice. We must act now, with you at our side.
We'll see how this goes.
That is all we ask.
Help us fix this before it's too late.
And a great detail of the game is that if you're Canary, everyone's looking up at you, and if you're a dwarf, everyone's looking down at you. Snake Tracks, she's not Spanish, she's Orlesian, so it's actually French. They're the Antivans who are Spanish, and that is another character named Josephine, who I don't believe we'll have time to introduce her today.
Well, guys, we are just about to sign off today. This is the very first hour of Dragon Age Inquisition. If you're playing as a little bit of a badass Kunari woman, if you would like, look in the chat for the link to our review of Dragon Age Inquisition, and if there are any questions that we did not answer today, listen to our podcast. The link is there in the chat. That will be up tomorrow afternoon. If you enjoyed this stream, please follow us here on Twitch. We'll be back tomorrow afternoon. We'll be streaming the Mario Kart 8 DLC and probably yelling at each other loudly. And next week, we'll be streaming a whole lot of good stuff. We'll be back with a little bit more Dragon Age Inquisition. We'll probably check out the multiplayer. We have yet to stream Assassin's Creed Unity, and we may take a look at that. And on Thursday the 20th, stop on by. Joystick is partnering up with Humble Bundle to run a little bit of a bundle of games that is giving money to the charity Able Gamers, who do a lot of work making games accessible for people with a variety of physical disabilities. And we'll be giving away games en masse on that show. And frankly, if you have any other needs in terms of free video games, go to joystick.com, JOYSTIQ.com, where we are giving away an Xbox One Call of Duty Advanced Warfare bundle. That's the bundle with a terabyte hard drive, and we're giving it away for free. How do you get it? Go to joystick.com, and all you really need to do is like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Search for Joystick with a Q. And, yeah, we'll be back tomorrow, guys. Thank you for joining us today, and thank you, Alexander, for streaming.
Yeah, thanks so much for joining us again. Check out our review of Dragon Age Inquisition up now, 5 out of 5 stars. It is a fantastic game. It is available next Tuesday. Thanks again for joining us today. Bye.